Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome all of you to Planning and Project Management channel. Today we are going to learn what is EPS, how to create EPS in your project in Primavera, and then how to create a project under different EPS. Also, we will be touching some of the main WBS, like what is the shape of the baseline, what is the WBS work breakdown structure, and how to create a baseline or how to create a new project. So first of all, let's start with EPS. So EPS means enterprise project structure. EPS stands for Enterprise Project Structure. A combination of projects is called a program, and a combination of different programs makes an enterprise. So, in simple means, for example, you are working in a company, and your company is working in different sectors of the construction. Maybe they are also working in infrastructure projects. Maybe they will be working in building projects. Also, maybe they will be working in some hospitals, healthcare sector, and also maybe they are working in some residential projects, industrial projects. Okay. So now all the industrial projects, they combine to make a program, and all these residential projects, they make and combine to make a program. But the different programs, for example, the different sectors, the different sectors of this construction, that industry in which your company is working, so that will add up to make an enterprise. Okay. So your company is working under different programs. So when you are working in maybe PMO office, so definitely you will be dealing with maybe tens of dozens of the projects. Or even if you are working on a site and your PMO office, they are managing the projects based on the EPS. So first, why we create EPS? The answer lies that it will be later on easier for us to put the different projects in whichever section they belong. So later on the tracking and monitoring will be easy, and also the different organizational the organization managers and different peers of your organization can be assigned to your project. So let us consider that your name of the company is ABC. So I am just going to take an example. So we will not write the name of any company. So you can write the name of your company, okay, if you are making some project. Or even if you are a student or still learning, you don't have a company, so you can just write ABC, okay, XYZ, whatever you want, just to learn. So the name of the company is ABC, and this is the node diagram you see here. ABC has two wings: Eastern region projects, Western region projects. Maybe I suppose that your company is working in your country, and like area wise we have two divisions, main divisions: Eastern region projects, Western region projects. Similarly, it doesn't mean that you always need to divide into Eastern region projects. No. Maybe in your area you have different states, different zones. So you can mention those names of states, names of those zones. Then under the Eastern region project, in node diagram, we have building projects, commercial projects, industrial projects, residential projects. Similarly, in Western region projects, we have building projects, commercial projects, industrial projects, and residential projects. So this is just an example. maybe you are working in the transportation field, okay, then you will have maybe some bridges projects, some road projects, some railway projects. That depends. Just the purpose of creating an EPS is to divide your company's projects into zone wise, into area wise, into type of the projects. So when you are creating any project, you can easily put that project under the your related EPS. So I hope that you must have understand what EPS stands for and what it means. Later on, we will create the EPS in our program. So this is the question that I already spoke about it. For project, why we need to create EPS? For project monitoring and controlling, we need each project to be placed in unique hierarchical order, so it will be easy later on to track the projects which fall under same category. So before the creation of the new project baseline, let us create the EPS in the P6. Here, when you will open your Primavera after login, you will see here EPS enterprise that's already created, but you need to create your own new EPS, whatever the example we have considered. So let us take that example and create an EPS in your project. So different tabs are here. So I will introduce first to different tabs to of P6. What are when you open the screen, what comes first? Okay. So here most of the things, the file, edit, view, enterprise, you will open, and like so many things are there. Similarly here you can close the projects, open the projects. Okay, some bar is here. So here are the editing tools, some cut, paste, copy, and some arrows are here later on to shift the EPS or the activity different WBS levels. Okay. So to create an EPS, go to here enterprise on the top of your screen and click enterprise project structure. A window will open here. So in this window, these are two columns, EPS ID and EPS name. Here you have different buttons: close, add, delete, cut, copy. You have here some arrows to shift your EPS levels or nodes up and down, right and left. So this is like an editing here. All editing tools are here. So for EPS ID, okay, for example, the name of our organization, we have considered ABC. So let's keep ID same like ABC. Okay, let's write the name sample enterprise. Okay, sample enterprise. Okay, and I will write in bracket ABC like this. Okay, so here you can give the ID of your EPS, and here you can give it name. So ID, you can take the initial letter of your company to make an ID. ID should be very unique. Then you go to this button, click here, add. A new node will open under your this ABC, whatever we have written here. So first we will give it name, whatever we consider like Eastern region projects. Then again press add, right here Western region projects. Then under Eastern region projects, we want to create some more projects, some more EPS nodes. So when you press a button add, so you see here this node has not been added to your Eastern region project, so it is coming under ABC. So just to make it under Eastern region projects, you have to check this arrow, you have to click this one, shift right. So now it has become part of Eastern region projects. Just to remember that, we need to write here some ID. So Eastern region project, I will write Eastern, E from Eastern, region, R from region, projects, P, ERP, okay. So here you write industrial projects, then write here ID, industrial projects, IP. Here you write building projects, similarly B from building and P from projects, you will need to mention ID. Then write here infrastructure projects, infrastructure projects. So healthcare, projects, also maybe there will be some commercial projects. Okay, so here for infrastructure project, if you write IP, again already we have used the IP for the industrial project, so here you write infra, so IF for infra, P for project, healthcare HP, commercial CP, western region projects, W from western, R from region, project, T from project. So you need to, if you want to copy paste, just click here and press the control button on your keypad, click all of this, then right click, copy, click here, then again right click, paste. If you had created some projects but still we haven't created any project, so it's asking that you need, if you want to also copy the projects, yes, no, whatever the option you want to select, you can select it here, but still we haven't created any projects, so you will write here yes, you will click yes, then again okay. So all projects are copied here. Again ID should be unique, so what we need to do here, we need to write E for E with all these EPS, because these are all Eastern region projects. E with all these projects you need to write E, okay. So here these are Western region projects, you need to write W with caps. Here you can remove this -1, whatever it is written here. So now I will tell you what this, like you can delete, if you want to delete at any time any project, you can click it here and press the delete button. You want it to cut it, you can press the control on your keyboard and you can cut it from here, you can copy, you can paste, every option is here. Here also arrows are here, these arrows, what we need to, for example, if you want to move this commercial project on top of it, so you can just like this, you can move top and down. This one, for example, if you want to change this hierarchical order, you want to change this node. So if you want to make like this, for example, infra project under the building, then you can do it by pressing right shift. But if you don't want to do it, you can press this shift left. So it will come under this project. So these buttons, right and shift left, these are just to create like which projects do you want to, which EPS node you want under any the other EPS. Then after this, creating the EPS, we will create a new project. Creation of a new project baseline from scratch. So if you want to create a new project baseline from the scratch, you need to think a few questions. What we are going to build? Do we have all project information available with us? Are there any contractual milestones involved? Do we have nominated some contractors? Do we need any information from them? Do we need any input required from client? If any material delivery or design is their responsibility when they are going to give us this information. So before creating any baseline, you need to gather the data. The first step is to gather the data. Drawings, specification, BOQ, contract. Then you need to think what we are going to build. Okay? All the project should be in your mind. So planning process doesn't start just merely going to P6 and start creating your baseline. No. First, you will have to think from here. The planning starts from your head. You have to start to think what we are going to build, what are the milestones involved, what stakeholders are involved, which parties are involved, do we have some intermediate milestones, what are the penalties, from where I need to get this input, do we have nominated subcontractors, do we need any input from them, when they are going to build some specific activity, do we have our subcontractors, do we need to get schedule also from them. Also, if some material delivery or if some scope of the work is with the client, so what will be the overlap of their work with our work? What will be the sequence of works that they are going to do and what we are going to do? So any of their works are either their activities are going to interfere with our activities. So all this information you have to keep in your head. Also, do we require any authority approvals? If so, then you need to mention those, and if those approvals are with client or with the contractor, you need to mention. Because if any later on, if any approval is delayed by the client, then that will be used for the time extension case. When we will get the site access, you need to mention it. What are the stakeholders that I already told you about the stakeholders. Then understand your role. You are a planner and your job is to arrange scattered information into meaningful and purposeful manner. Involve the site team with you. Get all stakeholders of project around one table. Discuss different views and ideas. Arrange Excel sheets so that it is easy for other site members to understand the information who are not well aware of Primavera. First of all, a planner is like the backbone of any project, because why? He needs to coordinate with all engineers, with all site team, with all management team. Even he has to present his work or project progress information to higher management sometimes. So from the bottom level, because he needs, when he are going to update the baseline, he needs information from the site engineers. Okay. Also, he needs information from the project managers, from the mechanical engineers, from the electrical engineers. So every stakeholder of the project or every member of the team, he is going to talk with the planner. So the job of the planner is just to get around your team and sit around one table and discuss with them what we are going to build. Okay, what information do you need from them also? So if they are not well aware of with P6 Primavera, then you need to create some Excel sheet. Later on I will tell you how to create those sheets also. But first we will focus on the P6, like with a simple project we will start. Later on I will tell you how to get this information and how to make Excel sheets and to get information from the engineers, from mechanical engineers, from the electrical engineers. Because if you are a civil engineer, definitely you will be not aware of mechanical, electrical activities in detail. I am not saying that maybe you don't know anything about the mechanical, electrical, or like HVAC, ducting, plumbing, but you will not have that in-depth knowledge of those fields. So definitely we need to get information from those people. Then that I mentioned that planner is always a team player. You see here, everybody is focusing on different side. Everybody is planning differently on their own terms. So maybe a mechanical engineer is planning his own activities. Maybe he is not considering the other interfering activities of the civils. When the civil team is going to give him the clearance to the site, when the electrical team is going to give him the clearance from the site. So each and every information, when the material is going to be delivered on site, what procurement process will take some time, the design process will take some time. So maybe he will miss some key things. So planner job is to get all those engineers around one table, discuss the ideas and the views. Baseline rectangle. So just to make it like more interesting, I created a rectangle. Like I told you in the beginning that you need to get the project information to create a baseline. So getting the information is the first and foremost important thing. For example, you are a planner on the site, your company has won a major project and they ask you, okay, you have to prepare baseline in 30 days. So now what information do you want from them? So most 70% if the information will come from four things: BOQ, drawings, detailed drawings, project tender drawings, okay, BOQ, tender drawings, specification and the contract BOQ. From the contract you will get information regarding these milestones, regarding the penalties. From the BOQ you will get all the activities, what their quantities, and from their cost, and also from the drawings definitely you will understand what is the scope of the project. So this is baseline information rectangle. Price BOQ, detailed design drawings, project contract and project specification. All these things you need in your hand to before starting any baseline. First we will start WBS, work breakdown structure. What is work breakdown structure? You have to divide the major project deliverables into manageable components, generally referred to as WBS. What we need to plan for a general construction project, what will be the level or groups of WBS. So maybe theoretically you have studied what is WBS, like we need, if you have a big project, definitely you have to divide it into meaningful deliverables so that later on the monitoring and tracking becomes easy and controlling of the project becomes easy. So what are the levels? Most of the time the client wants us level 4 or level 5 baseline schedule. So now I will tell you what are the levels of the different WBS. For this are the most the first level 1 WBS for a construction project. Milestones, engineering, procurement, construction, testing and commissioning, closing out. So these are the must for any baseline. You need to mention these in the baseline schedule. So these are the part of any construction project. Milestones, engineering, procurement, construction, testing, commissioning, closing out. You are going to start any project. you need to mention the milestones, when project is going to start, when it is going to finish, when this intermittent milestone, what are their dates. You know what is the milestone, I will tell you later in coming slides. Then you need to plan engineering, the whole design process. You need to include their durations, their relationship with the construction activities. You need to mention the baseline schedule. If it's an EPC project, definitely you are going to design it. You need to get the concept based drawings. When the client will provide these drawings, what are their dates, what are their durations, you need to mention it, you need to plan it. So this is part of the planning. The design is the part of the planning. When you are going to submit those drawings, when they will give us the approval as per the contract. If it is in the contract, it is mentioned that they need to give us the approval after 14 days, then you need to mention 14 days. Then the construction. The construction is the most important part of your business schedule. Here the critical path will be defined. Then you need to sit with the project team. Okay, you need to get the site layout and you need to discuss like from where we will start the project, when we will start the mobilization, how much long it will take the time. From the BOQ you will get the different activities. From the drawing you will get the scope and you will get these different quantities. Then based on the productivity norms, whatever the resources you have, based on those you will derive the durations. That also we will discuss later on. Then after creating these construction activities, then the testing and commissioning. Definitely this is the major part of any construction project. You need to mention it separately, and then later on demobilization and closing out. Now we will discuss what is milestone. Milestone, it shows start or completion of major project deliverable. Major project deliverable means, for example, you are going to start a building project. Maybe the client wants you to finish the raft in 60 days or maybe in 75 days, or maybe your structure work should finish on 180 days or 220 days, okay, calendar days I'm talking about. So because later on maybe their nominated subcontractor will come and they will do the finishing works. So this is the finish milestone because you need to hand over this area to them on time. Similarly, some milestones have some start dates. For example, the start of the architectural works, start of the MEP works, start of the elevator works. So you have different milestones and then different penalties are set aside in your contract schedule. So your contract for different milestones. Okay, so don't miss any milestone in your baseline schedule. That is most important. Always check that any milestones are defined in the contract. That should not be missed. What are the penalties for not completing those milestones on time? What is contractual definition for any milestone? Now, what does last sentence mean? What is the contractual definition for any milestone? For example, I was working in a cinema project and they had a milestone that dust-free area. You need to deliver this cinema in 3 months in dust-free condition. So what does that dust-free mean? So then they had mentioned what does dust-free means. What are the conditions? Like all the doors should be installed, first coat and second coat of the paint should be done, the last coat can be done later on, all the ducting should be completed, okay, and the wild air should be on. All the MEP first and second works should be completed, okay, without lighting. All the floor tiling should be laid. No dust should come inside whilst the nominated subcontractor is working. So this was the requisites for those milestone, for that milestone, dust-free milestone. Okay. So you need to understand what is the definition of the milestone, because later on you are going to connect your related construction activities with those milestones. Completion of those milestones are the start of those milestones. For example, start of an architectural works. This is the start milestone, handover area to client for nominated subcontractor. This is the finish milestone. Also, sometimes do we need any clearances from client? Make such clearances as milestones. Connect your construction activities to specific milestones. Sometimes we need some clearances from the client. Okay, when they are going to hand over some area to us, when they are going to deliver some material to us, and also some project information when they are going to release that information. So we don't know what is the duration for that activity, so just make that activity milestone. Maybe that is not a contractual milestone, but maybe still they have agreed. Okay, if they have agreed through any letter or anything, minutes of meeting, it is mentioned in minutes of meeting, then you need to include in your schedule. Then the third one is the engineering. Engineering, I had already told you that designs, we need to include all the designs information in our baseline schedule. What we are going to build, how we are going to build, all that information should be included in your baseline schedule. We also need to plan for design approvals and material approvals. Unless a design is approved from consultant, we cannot start any activity. So that particular drawing has to be connected with the start of the construction activity. So unless before the start of that activity, that design should be approved from the consultant. So that submittals and approvals should be those activities and their durations and their interconnecting logic should be connected with activities. Engineering has two major components: design approvals and material approvals. Design approval means the drawings. Okay, if already the project has been designed, then you need to prepare maybe the detailed shop drawings. So the submission of the shop drawings and approval of the shop drawings you need to include. If your project scope includes only procurement and construction, then you need to show the durations for preparation of shop drawings. So engineering has two major: design approvals and material approvals. All the materials, all the specified materials that you are going to use, you have to include the durations for their submittals and for their approvals in your construction schedule. Design approvals can be categorized into following for a typical building project: structural designs, submittals and approvals; architectural designs, submittals and approvals; HVAC, then fire and gas, then the plumbing, maybe elevator system, conveying system, maybe some finishing items, and many more. So you need to create the WBS for each of individual components separately. Okay, and then you need to mention those materials there. Then the materials has two types: one long lead items and then one is non-long lead items. What are the long lead items? Long lead items are those which take longer duration for their procurement. Also, some items, for example, they are coming from different country. Maybe they are coming through sea shipment. You need to consider their duration because they will be more critical. If any delay happens to them, definitely your construction activity is going to delay. If it has some float, then it is going to eat that float. And if it doesn't have any float, then obviously it is going to delay your project. Non-long lead items generally are available locally, take lesser time for procurement and delivery. May include cables, glands, steel, cement, concrete. So these all items are non-long lead items. So this is a snapshot from a level 2 WBS from any baseline. Milestones, engineering, procurement, construction, closeout. This is the basic shape of the baseline. Then level 3 WBS. Don't worry, I will after this lecture, not after this lecture, maybe after 2-3 minutes, we will create all this WBS in the Primavera. Okay, but before creating anything, I needed to explain to you what that thing means. Like, we don't want to just work like robots and start doing things on P6. So to be a good planner, first you must need to understand and learn the planning. Okay, and you need to learn all the terms that will be involved during the construction of the baseline. So milestones have two types: start milestones and the finish milestones. Engineering, receipt of IFC drawing, shop drawing, submittals and approvals; material, submittals and approvals. Procurement has two more WBS, like material procurement, delivery, material delivery by client. Then level 4 WBS: start milestone, contract award date, finish milestone, handing over. So in that project we didn't have intermediate milestones. So if you don't have any intermediate milestones, then you must have two milestones in any baseline: start of the project and then the finishing of the project. Then engineering, receipt of IFC drawings, shop drawing submission and approvals, structural shop drawings, MEP shop drawing, architectural shop drawings. So like these are the different levels of the WBS. Then the material submission and approvals has been divided into architectural and others, MEP, structural steel. So different types of the materials you need to mention. Then similarly procurement, like delivery of carpet, delivery of kids play equipment, delivery of lighting. So these all materials has to be delivered by the client. So that's why I have made it milestone. I never gave any duration for them. Later on I will tell you. Then comes the procurement, the last part of our baseline. Not the last one. So I will tell you what is the procurement. When material is approved from consultant, then procurement department will liaise with the suppliers. Once your materials has been approved, you have submitted it and it is approved. You have submitted the supplier, so quotation, your supplier is approved from the client. It meets your specification laid down in your contract, laid down in your specification set. Then after that, your procurement department will, your engineer, like the project manager and your site engineer, they will raise a requisition for that material. That requisition will go to your procurement department. Then your procurement department will liaise with the supplier of that material. The supplier of that material, what they will do, okay, maybe to get into contract with them, some account department will also be involved, so it will take some time. So this all time is considered as a procurement time. Then they need to procure that material. Okay, I already told you some materials are long lead, some materials are non-long lead, so it will take some time. So we need to include the duration for this. Also material delivery will take time for long lead items. Then the procurement process has involves some 2-3 stages. First, quotation and agreement, then the PO issuance, PO purchase order issuance, then delivery to site. So before discussing the construction WBS, because this will take a longer time, tomorrow we will discuss about it in our next video. So today we will start building the WBS. Let's go to our P6. So till now we haven't created any new project, so just you need to go to file and click new. So it is asking you to select EPS. So whatever the EPS we have created, so simple project, I will make a building project. Okay, we will consider some building project. So we need to select here building project EPS, click next, give some project ID. Okay, project ID, simple project. Okay, write XYZ. We will write here simple construction project. Click next, project plan start date. Before creating any project, you need to mention their start and finish date. So let's consider it's a 6-month project and it's going to start on 1st of May 2020. Then May, June, July, August, September, October. It is going to finish on 30th October. Or take it like 1 year project. Okay, so it is going to finish on May 2021. So you can browse like this also. You can, if you click here like this, all these months will appear here. Then you need, if you want to move these years, you can use these arrows. Then you want to select some particular month, you can select it from here. So we will select May, 31st of May. Okay, click next, then click finish. So now your project can be seen here, simple construction project. Just right click and select open project. Since you haven't created any WBS, so no WBS has been shown here. Then you will go here, WBS work breakdown structure, click it. and your sample project appears here. So these are the tabs that we can use to add some WBS. You just click add, gives if you want to give some unique ID, you can give here. Then we will need to write milestones, then again we click engineering. So this engineering should come under this top XYZ WBS. So just use this arrow, move left. Then you can also press insert button on your screen. Like now I will press the insert button, so WBS will be, a new WBS has been added. Milestones engineering, then you can write here requirement, then press this button, then add here construction, then right click, then write testing and commissioning, then right click and then click add and write here closing out. So this is the main shape of the baseline: milestones, engineering, procurement, construction, testing, commissioning, closing out. Also just make this in also in capital letters: simple construction project. Just go here, click activities. Still you cannot see any WBS here. What I will do, that I will import some layout because no layout has been defined. Later on I will tell you, so don't get confused at what I am doing here, because I will be importing some layout. Later on I will tell you what is layout and how to import it. Just today I will import it because I installed the P6 now, so that's why no layout has been defined. You see, all of your WBS has been shown here: milestones, engineering, procurement, construction, testing, commissioning and closing out. So I request all of you just to please go through all the video today and practice whatever I have taught you and get your concepts clear. And if you have any doubts in your mind, please do not hesitate to write a comment in the comment section, and I will try my best to answer all of your comments. Okay, if any improvement you want from my side, you can also mention in your comments. So definitely I will try to follow what are the I will try to improve the way of teaching or I'm doing here. So for that, and also one more request, that don't go through all videos at a day. Just simply follow one video a day, practice it, and then go to next video the next day, because then easily you can understand it. So tomorrow I will tell you, we will subdivide into more WBS levels for the engineering, procurement and constructions. So for that time, take care and bye bye.